But what are we going to map? We're going to map roads. And as we can see here, we've got several different types of roads. We've got this sort of footpath kind of thing, footpath, cycle path combined here. Similarly here, I think these are footpaths, cycle paths. Here's a road coming into this parking area. It's a small minor road. Here's a slightly larger road. As you can see, we've got several different types, and there's paths going in through here, perhaps. All sorts of different levels, which means we need to, when we make our map, ideally we'd like to be able to make a map that indicates the different qualities of these roads, rather than just being simple lines on a map and saying road. We want it to say even more informative in some manner. And now in order to do that, we need to add an extra column to our roads file. If we click on this open attribute table, what we need to do is add an extra column where we can tell the computer, as it were, what the quality of this road actually is. So to do this, we go here and add field. So we're adding an extra column to our table. And this we're going to call class, because it's a road class. And we're going to use integers to code this because it's simpler in many ways. It means that we can manipulate our data afterwards more easily. We don't have to keep typing in the long class names or anything like that. So I suggest that we use this integer. If you really don't want to, you can use text instead. We have a text here, and then you can write in the road class as text straight away. And in this exercise, it's probably not going to make a huge amount of difference, but in the future, it can be a little more hard work. So my suggestion is that we use short integer. Click on OK. So now we have this extra column, still no objects in there. So what is this going to do? Well, actually, let's go back to our text editor and just create a new file. We're not going to use this directly. We're not going to import it. This is just for, we can write this down on a piece of paper if you like. What sort of class of roads do we have? Well, we said we had, say, we had a main road. Let's just get a capital letter for fun. Main road, minor road. Let's say footpath, cycle path, well, I better add a dirt road, maybe. Dirt road. And then these are some classes that we might have. What about if we had a motorway as well? We don't have a motorway in our map, but maybe we do. So that's putting a motorway out there. All these sorts of things. Okay, so 1, motorway. 2, main road. 3, minor road. 4, as we can see, it's just preparation. This is necessary for us to keep ordering things. And then that will be a 7, and that can be an 8. Right, so we've created this. This is our little guide, our key for what these different integer codes mean. So this is our integer code into the text. So we can keep that there. We can save it, or if you've written it down on a piece of paper or whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's go back here. So now we've got our table. Now we need to start doing some mapping. We'll close that now. And let's just start mapping some things around here. To start mapping, we've got our roads activated there, editor, and start editing. Now, we need to start editing the roads. Sometimes you may not get this, sometimes you will get this. It just depends on how much different data there is in the project. It's not always consistent, but if you have multiple different locations and data types, quite often you get this start editing window come up. Otherwise, it just goes straight to editing. So click on OK there. And we started editing. So we're editing our roads, but how do we see that? We can't at the moment. So let's click on Editor, and then editing windows. Let's have the Create Features window come up. Select roads, because that's the layer we want to start editing, and we get these construction tools come up. So these are valid tools for us to use when working with this. So let's click on that, and let's start mapping. Start mapping this road here. And I'm going to start from there, say, and I'm going to go just click, click, click along up to there, right click and finish sketch. Now that's simple. Now what's this? It's doing this strange thing here. That's snapping. If you don't have the snapping tool up, you just right click up here and it's on the list, it's snapping there. Snapping is a set of tools that say to the computer, if I'm near some other object, move me to it so I can create a new feature snapping on that line. As you can see there, it's snapping all the way along. There are 7 different types of snapping. I have edge snapping, vertex snapping, end snapping, point snapping. That will only snap to points. This will only snap to end points. This will only snap to the vertices in our line. This one snaps along any point along the line, but it will snap to the line. If I turn that off, now it snaps there. There's nothing. It doesn't sense this line in between. There it senses that vertex. There it doesn't. There it finds that vertex. There it finds that one. I turn the vertex off. Doesn't see it, but it gets the endpoints. If I turn that off and I just have points, nothing, because there are no points. Let's just turn those all back on again. So that's our snapping. So we're going to create another road. Let's create this main road here. It goes from there to there to there to. I'm being really lazy with this for a reason. I'm going to come back to this and use this as an example for editing later. So we created that road, and then we have this road here that's going from, say, there to there. Sketch, and that road goes from there to there. F2 I can press. Finish sketch. How about some of these smaller paths here? How about this going? I can take this from there, there, to there, there, it goes under there, and then we finish sketch, and then the road that goes from there to there. We're doing lots of mapping here. Good. All of this is great. Let's try going a little through there. Let's say that's a path as well. So, well, that's all very well and good. And if we now click on here, look at our attributes. Well, we've got lots of lines, but they're all class 0. So we can see here that this line, that was that last one we did there. If I do that instead, we can see that one. If I click there, we can work our way through. Now we could go through, so that was that line there, and that's a path through the woodlands. That was just path in general. So if we go back to our list here, well, let's probably call that an 8. So I could type in 8 there. Okay, so let's put in an 8. 8, not 80, thank you. So just to go in, okay, so the next one there is, okay, so and then we feed in individually what each one is. We can do that, or we close that attribute table there, and we get more editing windows come up here, and we click on attributes. Okay, so now that one is active up there. Well, how about if I say mark that one as well, because they're both of the same type. And I say, okay, so they're both now. We've got 2 objects up there. That was 2. I can click there. That one, but that's not the same type. I didn't want that one, do I? Click it away again. So we've got these 2, and if I mark that one and that one, they're both now active. I now go in there, and they're supposed to be some sort of cycle path. What was that? A cycle path. Or is it a combined path? It's probably a combined path. Let's call it a 7. Thank you, Art, for that. Mark both of those, and we'll call that 7. So they are now both 7s. So when we go back to our attribute table, they've both been classed as 7s. So I could edit multiple features at once. Now, there it was just 2 lines, and that was a lot of faffing around just to edit 2 points. But if you've got more features that you want to edit at the same time, this becomes a little bit more useful. I mean, we can say that both of these are main roads. Mark those, and we'll call those main roads. That was class 2, wasn't it? Yeah. So they're both, and then these 2 minor roads, which I believe was class 3. to mark them both there. And there we go. Great. So now when we go back to our table, we should see that everything has been classed. And what we can do now is quickly save edits. Now the edits that we've done have been saved. Okay, so all of our lines have been saved into the shapefile. All the edits have been saved into the shapefile. Let's just change the symbology on this so that we can see things a little more clearly. Because at the moment it's a little difficult to see that line. Let's change it to this big red highway line. Okay, and everything's there. That's blue because it's marked. Let's just unmark it. So everything's this big thick red line.